If you've ever opened your kitchen cabinet and found your honey turned thick, grainy, and almost solid, you probably thought one of two things. This honey is spoiled, or this honey is fake. But the truth is, crystallized honey and spoiled honey are completely different, and mixing them up makes people throw away perfectly good honey. Here's what crystallized honey really means. Honey is mostly sugars with a little water. Two of the main sugars are glucose and fructose. Over time, glucose naturally separates from the water and forms tiny crystals. That's why honey can look cloudy, gritty, and even become semi-solid. This is not mold, not bacteria, and not rot. It's simply a natural texture change. The USDA's honey description even states that honey's consistency can be fluid, viscous, or partly to entirely crystallized, and it explains that granulated honey naturally crystallizes. Most honey will do it, and granulation is not an indicator of adulteration. So the common myth, real honey never crystallizes, is basically backwards. Crystallization is extremely normal, and it can happen faster depending on the honey's glucose-fructose ratio, tiny particles inside the honey, like pollen, and storage temperature. Now let's talk about the other side. Can honey actually go bad? Yes, but usually not because it crystallized. Honey mainly spoils when it ferments, and fermentation happens when honey has too much moisture or gets contaminated. For example, water gets into the jar, the lid isn't sealed well, or you use a dirty spoon. When fermentation happens, the signs look very different from crystallization. You may see foaming, fizzing, bubbles, and you'll often notice a sour or alcohol-like smell. Mississippi State University Extension explains that honey can go bad under certain circumstances, and specifically says if your honey foams or smells like alcohol, it's best to throw it out. So here's the simplest way to tell the difference. Crystallized honey looks thick and grainy, but it should still smell normal and taste normally sweet. Spoiled fermented honey usually smells off, sour, yeasty, or alcohol-like, may develop foam on top, and can show active bubbling. In other words, crystallization is a texture change. Spoilage is a fermentation change. If you're unsure, do a quick 3-check, smell it, look for bubbles foam activity, then taste a tiny amount. Normal smell pros no bubbling usually means it's fine. Sour boozy smell pros foam fizz is a red flag. Now the best part, if your honey is crystallized and you want it liquid again, don't blast it on high heat. The safest method is a warm water bath. Put the honey jar in a pot or bowl, remove the lid, pour in warm water, not boiling, and let it sit. Stir every few minutes until the crystals dissolve. Sioux Honey Association recommends using warm water and specifically notes the water should not exceed about a 110 degree F. After it returns to liquid form, let it cool, seal it tightly, and store it in a cool, dry place. Solid honey doesn't mean spoiled honey. Crystals are normal. The real warning signs are foam, fizz, and an alcohol-like smell.